Hello, hi everyone. Welcome for today's demo. Just give me a quick acknowledge if you can be able to see my screen, everyone.
Hi, sir.
Hi. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Great, great, perfect. All right, so uh, I welcome everyone for today's webinar. So this webinar is designed to get you and aware about like how we can start a career in cybersecurity. If you're looking to start your job as a cybersecurity specialist, like, what are the skill set we required? What are like tools we're going to work? How, the challenges comes and what are like, mitigation process can be there? What exactly the requirement can be there from the client if you've been going ahead and facing a client? And what are the most important areas when it is comes on like job? How we can target high paying job in cybersecurity as a SOC analyst, or it can be as in cloud security. So these session, which is designed from basic to advanced, where we're going to discuss, and also this is not just we're going to be discussed as a old school method. We're going to discuss something on the practical scenarios. I'm going to show you the tools. I'm going to tell you about like what are the areas we have it as we work as a security specialist. What are the skill set we require? So all those in detail we're going to discuss in this webinar. Okay. So as well as this session is getting recorded, so also you're going to get on recording after this session, like maybe like next 4 hours or maybe after 12 hours you'll be going to get an access to this recording. If you have any doubt, you can like recheck those recording and can understand all the importance point, what can be benefit with this like webinars. Okay, so before I get start this, I would like to see guys, you're from which city, which country? Just quickly put in the chat, let me see that. I request everybody to just quickly put in the chat your city name and country name. Let's see that. So we have the people from different regions. Okay, Sayed Mehboob from Hyderabad. Sampath is from Dubai, Sudan. We have from Riyadh. Great. We have Rajshekhar from Bangalore. Perfect. Abdul from Hyderabad. Uttam Kumar from Uttar Pradesh, Hyderabad, Pakistan. Okay. Telangana. Afsar from Hyderabad. Great, great, great. Aditya from Andhra Pradesh. Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. Awesome. So we have the people like, from Dubai, from Saudi, from Sudan, from India, from Hyderabad, from Andhra Pradesh, Gopal from Hyderabad. Great. Uh, yes, we have from Guntur as well. Great, 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 great. Great. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so let's do start. And same while if you have any doubts, like if you feel like you need to ask something, so your chat is always open, your mic is always open. So like we'll going to have some like question and answer as well at the end. We're going to discuss everything like if you have any doubts regarding to the process or regarding to like any other systems, like whatever we are going to discuss on that. So let's do start. So before I go ahead further, I would like to tell you like who's the person is talking behind the screen, right? So let us have it like detailed discussion. So before that, let me tell you that we are from Tech Geek. Okay, this is a registered company. Like we have been there in the operation since 2010. So we have done a wide range of services that into the corporate like Ericsson, Nokia for managing the network, as well as we have done some global projects, especially for Optus in Australia. We have done for STC in Saudi Arabia. We have have resources which has been designed completely network architectures in 2012 to 14 for do in United Arab area. So like we have UAE, we have done the project. We have done different project in Australia. We have done different project in like Saudi Arabia, as well as there are multiple clients which is still We are there into the consultant for understanding about the queries in about the managing the policies, like audit systems, vulnerability management systems. So we've been there into these services. So we also into providing training, we have trained uh 10,000 plus student, across different countries, from US, Australia, Canada. We have people from Zimbabwe, we have the people from South Africa, we have many people from India. So there is huge uh, group of people which we have trained, concentrate on high paying job salaries, like how they can be get achieved. So our website is techgeeks.co.in, and this is our address, the physically where my office is located. So that is on third floor near Malakpet Metro Station, and the pillar number is 1403, above the post office, like near the post office of Chadarghat, Malakpet. So this is the pin code, right, where we have registered office where our team and all our operations are taking, on site. So this is about my company, and this is about my profile. So who's I am? Like my name is Sheikh Iftikhar. So I am cybersecurity practitioners working with since last 12 years. I've designed different services in security, managed the different security deployment which is required in the organizations. We implemented the security solutions that can be right from endpoint security, network security, SIEM operations. So we've been there into designing the different SIEM operations. So we need to be a technical project for the governments, banks, healthcare, even to the private sector. So my work is focused both on as well as into the security solutions and training. So I've trained over 10,000 professionals globally, and I'm passionate about empowering the people through comprehensive cybersecurity educations, giving them a right path, giving a proper mentorship to get achieve their goal when they targeted to get in high jobs in the market, right? The demanded job, as we can see, the cybersecurity is the one of the most demanded jobs in the market, which has been required the huge number of professionals, the skill set professional, which have been going to be work for their organization. If I talk about my personal profile, this is as I'm a husband, father, hacker, gamer, sports fan, as well as animal lover. And if you want to reach me on the LinkedIn, where I mostly post about the regarding the job or awareness about the programs, like securities, or any new attack happens, what are the mitigations. So there are a lot of use cases. Mostly I've shared that through the LinkedIn as well. So I have group of community that is there on the LinkedIn, which can be follow and can get updated their profile as well. And I also recommend the different systems as well. So this is my LinkedIn profile, Sheikh Ifti. If you can check, you can get the complete detail about this. All right. So I'm a certified trainer, right? I'm authorized trainers, where I've been trained different people in different areas. So that is mostly about the information security. That is comes on the GRC, governance, risk and compliance, SOC operations, web pen testing. Be there into the experience with vulnerability assessment management. So I have, as I said, you the wide range of services we are given, and still we are there into giving the solution which is required in the market. Now, before I go ahead and talk much about this, let me tell you that what is the most important challenge is there. Whenever we talk about it, the top challenges faced by the candidate in clearing an interview. So, what I believe, right, no training will give us a benefit until unless we not be get placed in the company. That will be the major, the target area where we design these curriculum. You may do a lot of fancy trainings, you do a lot of fancy labs, you do a lot of certifications. That's fine, that's okay. But what does at the end, is that benefit you to get the job or not? That's the most important area where we have to look into it. Clearing a job interview, performing a proper operations when you're there on the floor, getting interact with the several team, going to know about how we're going to help them, is that we are the solutions for the problem or not. That's the most important part. So focus on that where we have designed this process. So I'll tell you some of the challenges where the people face while they're going for an interview. The some of the basic things which we can see that, lack of preparations. So the people have not proper skill set that is required in the market, where the many people get failed to clear interview because they have a small area of information, and that things like that is everything for their security. They know something about the Kali Linux. They have learned something about the Kali Linux. They know how to run some commands. They think that that is all about the security. They say like, I know that how to work on Kali Linux. I'm a security expert, but why you're not getting hired? The question is that why you're not able to crack interview. That's this is the most important, the process where we're going to see that. So the lack of preparations, that is the first chance. And the second important thing is that interview anxieties. So many people are fear to have an interview. Their heart beats very fast. They're not able to understand things. They're not able to answer properly. When it comes to group, like in a board meeting may happens on interview, there might be some technical expertise. I've been sitting and asking you the interaction, the discussion started. It's the many people get failed to have a clear view on those process here. So there's a lot of interview anxieties are there. That is one of the challenges. And the most important thing is that the communication issues. So the people are not aware about how to communicate with the interviewer, how to impress the interviewer. There is a lack of technical proficiency. That is also one of the challenges. So these are the challenges where we have the complete solutions design to make you achieve, to make you understand how we can get into this, how we can get understand what are the required skill set we need to be have when we are going to start our interview, when we are going to start our job areas. So as we can see that there is a misalignment with the job expectations. So candidate have misunderstood, they have misunderstanding about what is the job is this, what is the process that result in poorer performance in the interview, that lead him to getting into the depression that I can't be getting job, I'm not suited for this. Because there are many training, they do it, they invest a lot of money, they invest a lot of time, but the result zero. At the end they not be able to interact on the subject, they miss the real scenario based, and that's why the people get failed to clear an interview. That is how it's happened. They don't have the clear clarity on the requirement, what is the required skill set we require, what are the job descriptions are there, what exactly the organizations are looking for it. So they don't have the necessary skill set to get understand the job areas when if people starting their job here. So they fail to highlight the relevant qualifications. They understand what they fail to understand what are exactly the requirements are there for an organization. So that's the reason we have designed these process to get you a master's in cybersecurity skill set as well as the interview process that is into it. What type of negotiations can be happens, how it can be technical discussions happens, how it will be HR on will be happens, how the introductions once you start your the first call, how those things is going to be happen. We have done with a lot of hundreds of interview, you know the frame, what areas you need to be doing. So overall I must say that how you can be a battlefield experience with the entire skill set that is needed for to get a job. So you do not have a proper practice, you do not have a proper mentorship, and you're focusing that I need a high paying job, we are there into the vein, that is not going to be happen. So we need to accept the fact that if we need to get in a good job, if we have a goal to get in high paying salaries, then you have to choose the right industry. That is the first most important thing. And the second important thing, the right skill set. So you have to be a like you know good on a particular skill set. That is the most important part. So there are different examples, I can say that many people spend their time there, many people spend their strength to get learn, but is that the right skill set they are learning or not? That need to be get focused. That is the most important part. So is that your skill set can matches with the job description? If you go ahead and see that the job descriptions, can you be able to crack that? Do you have the self confidence that yes, I can face, if this discussions happens, yes, I'm good, I can be get handle those things. Is that possible me for to take those areas or not? So that is the reason we make you perfect. Now if you want to be get crack these interviews in cybersecurity, especially if I talk about the blue team, so what are the tools are there, what are the requirements are there? So we have certain tools here that we need to be having a good experience on it, working on these tools, understanding that complete concept, what is this actually, like Splunk, IBM Curadar. If I talk about what are the Azure Sentinel, Virus Total, what is the Wireshark, how does the Zira can be work, how the ticketing tool can be get integrated. It's not only just working in the level one, but up to the level three informations we needed while we are going for these type of jobs here. So we're going to be design these process in a structured manner. So we're going to discuss complete process here. That is we start from the SOC operations, all the procedures, tools, what exactly the required skill set we needed, what are from basic to advanced. That's from scratch to advanced. I can say you that. This is not just design only for the professional or intermediate people. This is from the basic, from scratch. These are the anyone is coming from the non-IT background. Yes, they can be a part of this because we're gonna give you the content which is required in the market. So we're going to discuss all the procedures what we have it. We're going to get it like in a hands-on practical on real SOC environment, how it's going to be work, how those incidents can come, how we can do those incident investigations, what are the different area of integrations can be done, how the deployment can be happens, what are the different type of asset list can be there. So we're going to discuss that in detail about it. We're going to talk something about gaining the industry insight, solving problems here, like how you can solve the real problem for the organizations, how you can be ready for that, can track any incidents, how you can take in part of those incidents, how you can investigate on those incidents whenever takes place here. So what are the steps are there, that's we're going to discuss in detail. We're going to prepare you for a job interview, which is the most important part, the skill set which not at all make us ready for clearing an interview. So we do a lot of practice, we are getting a good knowledge and skill set, that's fine, but how you going to approach for an interview, what type of the questions, what type of the interview interactions will be there, that is the most important part while comes to face an interview. So we're going to have that in detail. We're going to help you to land a job in the SOC. I'm going to tell you in further part how these systems we have designed, how this can be help you to get and achieve the goal. So overall, if I talk about it, in the SOC, there are the different roles are there. We have the level one support, level two support, level three specialists, like how they're going to be work. What are the main sectors are there. So what is exactly these operations are done. So let me just give you some basic idea about this. What is SOC here? First, let's do understand that. So when I say the SOC is nothing but the Security Operations Center, the security operations center that's are going to monitor for the sign of cyber attack. If any cyber attack happens, we're going to detect that, such as unusual logins happen, or it can be any strange pattern in the network traffic, or it can be anything seems to be an ordinary in the organization's asset, that is out of the ordinary, it happens to the organization's asset, that can be considered, that can be a risk is intercepted here. So once we spot these type of incident, what we're going to do it, we jump into the investigation, we're going to take an actions on these alert, and we stop doing these attack, the attackers are try to different method, and we're going to protect that. We stop these guys causing harm to these asset. Now when I come to the SOC operations, the first most important thing which we need to understand that every SOC analyst are going to work on the SIM tool. We call it the security information event management. So what are those tools can be there? So the tools can be like, as we have seen that these are the tools are there. It can be the Splunk, it can be the IBM Curadar, it can be the Rapid 7, it can be the Azure Sentinel. There are the different threat intelligent tools like virus, showdowns, network packet captures we can do by using the Wireshark. So there are the different OAPs top 10, open web applications, security projects, like what type of attacks may happen to the web applications, what are the different ethical hacking systems can be worked. So when it is talk about the skill set to get a job, it's not just one area. We need to understand everything about the compliance, the policies, what is ISO 27001 requirement, what is the PCI DSS, what is the GDPR, what is HIPAA, what is SOX, SOC1, SOC2. So there are the different requirements are there which we need to be have in skill set. So while been working as a blue team, So you need these areas of informations here. So these are the SIEM tools where we are going to monitor the different type of alerts. So these alerts which I've been getting from the different type of assets here. Now, when I say that the asset list, now let's do understand this. So when I talk about the asset list, where the business operations are carrying on, so these business operations can be carried with the different teams here, right? So there might be a sales team, marketing team, finance team, that can be an HR team, that can be an accounting team, that can be an IT team. So they are working on the endpoints. Endpoints are nothing but that can be considered as the workstations. That can be in the form of desktops, laptops, that can be a different smart mobiles can be connected to the corporate network. It can be different tablets, or it can be different IoT devices. As we can see that, there are the huge manufacturing unit are using the IoT devices. So this is have been considered as an endpoint which we need to protect. So this is are the endpoint assets. We have the networks. If I talk about the networks, we can see the routers, switches, firewalls. They are the different load balancers. We have it. We have the different type of the servers. So this is can be a physical server, that can be a virtual server. It can be the cloud servers that can be on AWS, Azure, or it can be a Google Cloud platforms. So there are the several third party vendors can be get and added applications. So there are the several applications, right? Now, if I'll say that the application, so there are the several applications can be considered as a business asset. Now let's take an example. If I'll tell you the Swiggy, if I'll tell you the Zomato, if I'll tell you the Amazon, if I'll tell you the Facebook, right? So what these are the applications, these are the assets for their owners, who have designed the services. So they're getting a business with that. So these applications should always be running. They should be always maintain the uptime. If any attack happens to these asset, there will be a business loss for these to these business owners. So that need to be get secure here. So that is the reason the security process which has been designed here. So that can be in-house application, that can be a third party applications, that can be considered as a web application. So this is also can be considered as an asset. We have a different type of the databases that can be a MySQL database, can be a SQL servers, oracles, that can be maintained in the organization. Cloud services, we have like IAM services, identity access management. We have the regularity compliance, that is can be considered that data protections law. So that can be relevant for the HIPAA, that can be the GDPR, that can be the PCI DSS, we call as a payment card industry data security standards, and so on, right? This is the can be considered as an asset. So these assets need to be get monitored. Now, when it is comes to the monitoring, so what should we monitor? That's the most important question here. So we need to monitor all the activities happens on these device. So how these activities can be traced? These activities will get with the help of the events and logs. So there are the several events and logs are there through which we can be able to see what type of activities happening on these assets here. Let me give you an example here. If I'll say that I'm using my Windows machine here. So when I'm using this Windows machine, I can be able to see, there are the different logs are there here, right? So here you can see the Windows logs. So if I click on these Windows logs, I can be able to see the activities that happens on the applications, the activity which is can be happens to the security, that can be happen to the setup systems, and other other applications and service logs also can be there here. So these logs which give us the complete detail about what is the network, what is the system, what are the activities they're performing, is there any type of the suspicious activities happening or not. So if I've done the login success, if I've done the login failure, or any activities that can be consider here, that we are getting in the form of these events. So every events which we are getting, it's called as a logs here, logs or event. So we are collecting these events log from the endpoints, from the network devices, from the servers, from the applications, from the database, from the cloud services, and so on. So these data comes to the SIEM tool here. Now, what do you mean by the SIEM? SIEM is nothing but we call as security informations event management. So these tool which are going to give us alert. Alert is nothing but a notification. If anything goes suspicious, if anything suspicious happens, we're going to get an alert. So how this alert can be generated? How does the SIEM is going to know that is a malicious activities or it can be a suspicious activities? So how does the SIEM is going to know that? Because it's defined with the certain rules here. These pattern can be considered as a correlations rules, event rule, that can be a custom rule, that can be the inbuilt rules. So these alerts have different type of the severity levels. Now severities can be like critical, it can be high, it can be the medium, it can be the low, and so on. So let me just give you one idea here. Let me just explain you that how the seed can be there. So I'm opening one of the SIM tool here to get you understand. All right. So now here we can see that I'm able to see there are the several informations here, right? So here we can see total I have 107 investigations here. Now these investigations are comes into the different severity levels, like how we have to handle this incident. It can be the critical, it can be the high, it can be the medium, it can be the low. So we have 98 as a low and 9 as a high. So the total count of these can be considered as 107 investigation. Now if I click on this high, so I can be able to see all these high alerts here. So what are those high alerts is there? What type of informations we are getting with these alerts here? So here we can see that it says that, like, the alert happens for the login failure. Now if I click on these activities here, so when we able to see that there is an evidence, so if I click on this evidence, I can be able to see the complete informations about it. So when it is happens, the timestamp, we can see the source address, we can see the destination address. So if the source address and destination address is same, it is happens into the local machine here. Now what is a computer here, and what is the result here? The result says that the failed due to the bad passwords. And here if I can go ahead and see that there is certain event code is generated, it can be considered as a 4625. It's for the login failure in the Microsoft Windows logs whenever we are collecting it. So it will be differentiated with the help of the event IDs. So these event ID call as a event code, which can be considered as a 4625, which is called as a login failure here. So this is type of investigations we're going to do it. We're going to talk with the team, like, we're going to see this user, we're going to call to this particular user account holder and investigate like why this has happened. Are you the one who have done this? What is the systems are there? What type of alert these are coming in it? So there are, like, the several alerts can be there. If I'll talk about, this is one of the alert we can got it here. And let's see the some of more alerts. That is authentication failure we have seen. Let me see that. Okay. Let me come to this one. It says that there is a malicious hash on this asset. Now, there are some hash value that has been considered as a malicious. So I want to investigate what is that malicious is that. So if I can see that, if I want to go ahead and see the detail here, I got one hash value here. This is the hash value. So when I got this hash value, I want to see what is this hash value says that, because it says that this is a suspicious process. It's a malicious hash on this asset here, right? So what I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna copy this. I'll go to one of the threat intelligent tools that be considered as a virus troll here. Let's say imagine a situation. Now what I'm doing it here, I want to just validate this hash. So I'm gonna put this hash and I'm going to see what is that about it. Now here we can see that the investigation process says that yes, these hash, whatever we have copied here, it says that yes, there is a security vendor flagged as a malicious file. Now what is the file name here? If you can see that the file name is tally.exe. The size of this file is 3.80 MB, and this is .exe file here. And it will be considered as a threat. As you can see that it can be a Trojan, and it can consider as a hack tool. So this is a hack tool which are there in a particular endpoint. Now, what is that location of this file? How these alerts can be there? So where what we can do it, we can just click on this alert details. I can be able to see the entire information and what is this machine, from where it is happening. So where here you can see that the complete informations about these alert here. So if we can see that the name of this file is tally.exe, And what is the location of that? The file path is C drive, where the tally ERP, under that we have one tally.exe. It can be considered as a hack tool here. And this is a username. Can you see that the username here? This is a username. Now the username is using the HP computer, and I can contact to this user because we have all the details, and we're going to scan this entire machine. And this is how we're going to handle this type of incident. So incident happens in a different way. What are the procedures are there? How are we going to handle those incidents here? So the same tools can be anything. Like we have the Splunk here. So if I can see that the Splunk is one of the SIEM tools again, which can give the complete detail about the assets, like what type of activities is happening, what type of informations we have it. So we can check these databases. We can understand the different type of dashboards which have been working on it. So we collect the data in a different format here. So this is a Splunk enterprise. If I can see that the search and report is the process which take me to the search head, and we have a different options here in the search head. So when I go to the SIM tool inside, I can be able to see the different operations here that can be performed. That can be a search. I can search the different data by using the SPLs here. I have the different time interval here that can be for 30-second windows. I can be go for the 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, or it can be 2 day, or it can be the week two data, or it can be like the different predefined patterns also there. I can see that last 30 days data, or I can just have a date range here between since and before. So if I'll say that between this date to this date I need the data, I can check that. Even I can check the data with the time and date range. So what time, what date I need the data here. So that informations are going to give us the complete detail about what activities is happening here. So here we can see the different type of analytics. We have the different type of data sets, reports, alerts, dashboards. So if I click on the dashboards, I can be able to see there are the several dashboards can be created, and that dashboards can be get monitored by the SOC team to get understand what activities is happening here. Now example, if I can click on these dashboard here, the firewall dashboard. So if I click on the firewall dashboard, I can be able to see the information that coming to from the firewall to the SIM tools here. So here we can see that there are something as a block connections, we have it, something like allow connections, we have it, something as a tear down connections, we have it, external source IP, external destination IP, network traffic by an action, network traffic by protocol, network traffic by applications. So there are like the different block traffics, like incoming traffic. We can see the source countries, what are the block source countries we have it, sort top source block connections. So how are we going to create these dashboards? What type of these data are there? So these data are giving us the complete detail about the activity performed on those devices. So we have like the multiple informations here that we can fetch from those asset which I'm talking about here. So these are the asset list. From that we are collecting the data in the form of events and log that's coming to the SIM here. Now, once it comes to the SIM, we work on this. We'll write a different correlations rules. We define the different type of conditions here. What type of informations I needed here. So if you say me like let me just tell you one example here. You tell me that tell me the block IP addresses. Let's take an example how we can list it. So first of all, we have a different pattern here that is called as SPF. We're going to discuss all the SPF, like how we're going to write this. So I'm going to take one of the asset type here. Let's say that that can be a uh, let me take as a firewall here, right? So I'll take the source type as the firewall here. So when I'm taking the source type as a firewall, so it can be a FortiGate traffic, right? Now here I can see that all the block connection. So when I type these type of commands here, the SPLs whenever we are writing, so we can be able to see all the detail about the traffic here. So this is all about like what are the data which is comes as a block here. Now you want to see that like what are those IP addresses are there. So I can get those informations also here. So I can say that I want to see the IP addresses here. So I can see the list of IP addresses. What are the block here? So here we can see that the list of IP addresses are blocked. So these are the blocked IP address. Now, if you ask me what is the locations of that, yes, of course, we can get that information also. So I can see that I'm going to use IP locations here for the source IP. So I can be able to see the different region, state, and the country here. So I can see that what are the cities, what are the country, what are the region, and what is their latitude and longitude, the coordinates even, through which I can take them into the map. I can understand what are the geostats data are there. I can do the different type of the virtualizations here. So that this is are the possible cause, I can take that informations, I can see all these data are coming into the different areas. I can analyze these informations here. So what is the process of doing this while been working on the same tool, which is a very important concept, how we can create the different type of reports here. So there will be a daily reports, weekly report, that can be a vulnerability reports. So what are the error reports are there? So what type of login failures happen? Suddenly the client needed that information. So how are we going to create that report here? So this is the sample report which I'm going to tell you that. So here we can see that I have one sample report here for the product IDs. So it's give me the detail about all these informations here. What are the product? What type of informations we are getting it? How this can be done? So how we can write this? How we can export that into the PDF, or it can be a JSON format? So what type of informations we can be get it here? So the reports what we are creating, how we can submit, how we can interact with the non-technical person with on the technical aspects, all these are the skill set which is needed if you are going to the job here, right? So this is how the sim tools are there. Not only this ended with that, there are many other areas are there. We have a tool called as a IBM Curator. This is also the most widely used tool. So here also we can see that, the different things here. So this is a sample report which we have just exported here. So these report contain the information. So how we can explain all things about this, how we can take into the PDF or into the JSON format and other all those things we can see that. So here we can see that the different type of the log activities are coming. So what are these log activities are there? So these are the different sources from where we are collecting here. So what is the sources are there? Log sources we can see that. What type of informations we are getting it? How we can see that if I want to detect any incident for the last 24 hours, let's take an example. So if I put it last 24 hours here, I can be able to monitor the entire assets, what data we came here. Now here, let me group with the event name here. So let me group with the event name to get you the clear picture how we can investigate these assets here. So when I click on this, I can be able to see this is are the detail here, right? These are the informations which we have it. So there are fail login to the SSH if it has happened. So if I click on this, I can filter that what are the usernames have been attempted to get login failure here. So I have the different type of filters is a user friendly tools where we need to know that what area we need to do the filters properly. We can I seen that top usernames which can be done here. So you can see that these are the two username with the two source IPs to the this destination IP where they have done the login failure method here. And here we can see the asset list, and we can see what are the magnitude of that, how many event count is generated here. So this is all are the detailed information about the incident whenever it is happens through. So the informations whatever we are required here, that is how it can be there. We have another tool called as a Azure Sentinel here. Let me just give you an introduction towards that, how those it can be worked, what are the areas can be there if I talk about it. So this is the Azure Sentinel which I'm going to tell you about this. So here also we're going to see how the analytic can be done, how we can work on these virtual machines. What is this Azure Sentinel about it? So if I can see that what are the log sources I have it here. So I can see that the log analytics here. If I click on this log analytic, I can be able to see the different type of incident which is happens here. So if you can see that here, we have the complete graph about working on that, how this incident can be detected. So there is a brute force attack happens. So what is this brute force attack when it is happens? What is that the notifications are there? How we going to do all the analytics here? So this is are the required skill set when we consider ourselves as a security specialist. We need to understand about how we can write the playbook, what are the active rules are there, what are the different rules can be created, what are the mitigations can be there, how the severity levels can be get defined. So what are the SOC optimizations, what is mean by the MITRE attack systems, what are the method we are using in the MITRE attack in order to detect. So what do you mean by the reconnaissance, resource development, initial access, executions, persistence, privilege access, there are defense aviations, credential access, everything. So that is we are going to discuss in detail. So this is the system when I talk about it, whenever we are detecting any type of incident here. So what exactly the SOC team is doing it? So when I talk about the SOC team, which are protecting the entire process, all these assets. So let me give you a short introductions about the cyber security before I'll go to the SOC analyst. The cyber security or the information security are the technology of protecting IT assets. That can be the computers, that can be the networks, that can be the servers, that can be the programs, that can be the data from unauthorized access or attack that aim for the exploitations. So in that we have very important team is as a SOC team. So what does the SOC team will do it? So they monitor the alerts coming from the same tools. So there are the multiple log sources are there from where we are getting these alerts. So once the alert comes, we're going to analyze this alert. We're going to find out that is a legitimate or it's a bad, it is a true or bad, true or false. So here we can see that we need to decide that if it is a legitimate, what we have to do it. If it is a bad, what actions we need to do it. So if it is a legitimate, we can ignore this alert. If it is a bad, then obviously we have to look that this attack happens from where. Is it an external attack or is it an internal attack? So now comes as the internal threat. Internal threat is nothing but which can be happens from inside the organization. We have a different type of users that might may do some certain activities that may lead to be a cyber attack. It may be intentionally or it can be accidentally. So we need to trace that, we need to investigate, and overall we need to protect our IT assets. We help the team to stop doing the bad activities if anything can be detected here. So as a SOC team, what we are doing is the SOC analysts, they monitor, they detect, they response to the cyber threat. So what are the cyber threat happens? We as a security analyst, we are keep eye on all these areas with multiple tools and understand what type of activities is performing that related to the web application, that can related to the endpoint, that can related to the network, that can be related to the user behavior, user activities, what are the external drives they have connected, and so on. So the SOC analyst is going to give complete focus and getting understand the informations which I've been getting here. So I'll tell you about it. What type of most type of attacks can be there? The type of cyber attack may happens like it can be a phishing attacks, it can be the man in the middle attack, DDoS attacks, SQL injections, the web applications type of attack, cross-site scripting, zero-day exploitations, ransomware attack, drive-by download by the users. They click on the malicious link and they have downloading some malicious payload on their computers. They're attaching to the botnet, and there are so on. There are the different type of areas where we as a security specialist are going to focus on it. We're going to see that we're going to operate the different type of ticketing tools. So we have there are the several ticketing tools are there, right? No, that's are going to give us the complete detail about just give me 1 minute. Yeah, oh sorry. So here we can see that. So there are the different ticketing tools are there which I have been using, through which we're going to get this information and we're going to work on that. So when you approach for an interview, right? So these are the skill set, correct? Everyone, just give me the quick okay. Is that clear till here? What I have showed you that. I just take you to the practical scenarios, how the security analyst will work. What are the tools areas are there? Clear? Perfect. Everyone, I want you to just unmute or you can use the text box and just type it.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right. So with this, the most important thing is this overall, right? What I want you to understand it, as I said you that my focus is to get you a job. That is was the most important part. So just doing a training and keeping at the side, you have done the training and then you'll be sitting again back to the searching for a job or struggling for a job. That's not a right path, right? So you need a proper mentorship, and I'm sure that I have 80% of result where the people have taken with the core part, understanding the concept to get the job. So most of things, the simple way they get ask you the interview, what type of questions are there. So some of real time scenario based questions, like example they're going to ask you, tell me the scenario where you have successfully identified if any incident, how you're going to mitigate those, what are the threat hunting process you do it, what type of process where you can reduce the false positive in the SOC environment, explain how you can handle the SOC false positive it is happens. So what do you mean by the false positive? What do you mean by the true positive, false negative, true negative? So those are certain, technical aspects. If you're a SOC analyst, if you have some experience on it, or you have learned something, you must know about that. So what is the incident response life cycle according to the NIST guideline, how we can handle that, how you're going to work on that, different incident response tools, what are the tools can be recommended for the to detect, to containment, do the eradications, how we can respond to those incidents, how do you perform the root cause analysis of those incident, how you're going to handle if any ransomware attack it has happens, how we can protect any organizations from the different type of ransom attack if it is taken place in the organization. So this is are the some of the real time questions where these organizations are going to be asked. Not only this, but there are many questions are there where the people are going to ask you. So what I want you to know that if you going ahead with the proper mentorship, if you're going ahead with the right decision, a right state of it to the goal, what is our goal? To clear our interview, to get this learn hands-on skill set. With this, it's going to help you to clear interview. I'm going to tell you that it's not a big deal to be get selected one of these companies. I'm sure that 100% you're going to be get selected. So there is required to be work on your profile. How it's possible, what are the things is happen. Let me tell you some of my students, some of my students who are working in these organizations, they are been into the global, these are not from only from India, but they are from multiple region. I would like to share you some of their experience, what they says about that after doing this course, what they got the benefit on that. Okay, so let me just share the sound as well here. Okay, let me just give you some of this idea here. Okay.
Hi everyone, good morning. Myself Mukhtar Ali. I just wanted to inform you that this training was worth every single penny, and the trainers were not only knowledgeable but they are passionate about cybersecurity. They made learning very easy, enjoyable, and practical. The team they are providing the services are excellent. So I just highly recommend everyone to join this course. Thanks, TechGeek.
Hi, I'm doing the cybersecurity course with Tech Geek, and it's an amazing, very informative, and practical course. I found that not only am I gaining knowledge, but also doing practical steps that would be applicable in the job, and I highly recommend it. The tutors as well as the consultants have been very, very responsive and very accommodating for every life event. So I do recommend that you take this course. Okay.
Hello everyone, myself Charan and I completed my cybersecurity training at TechGeek, and I just wanted to take a moment to share my transformative journey with TechGeek and how this learning experience has greatly impacted my growth and understanding of the cybersecurity field. I just want to express my heartfelt gratitude to TechGeek for providing me this transformative learning experience. And it has been an incredible journey, and I'm eager to continue growing and contributing to the field of cybersecurity. So I would definitely and highly recommend TechGeek Cybersecurity to anyone who's looking to embark on a similar journey. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Waliu. I'm a former student of the Geek Institute in Hyderabad, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I got to know about the Geek Institute on Facebook. I saw their ads on Facebook, and I picked their phone number and I reached out to one of their coordinators who helped me with the registration and making payments. I started in January 2023 and I finished in May 2023. What I can say about Tech Geek is, to me, it's, to be honest, it's a very good place for you to learn about cybersecurity, especially for people that are new in the field who is looking to break into cybersecurity. Tech Geek is a place where they will teach you from basic to the advanced. I didn't really know much about cybersecurity when I joined TechGeek. So, and I was able to learn from the basic until the advanced level. All the lecturers there and the coordinators they are always ready to help. They always listen to their students in terms of questions and concerns. If you have any questions and concerns, once you reach out to any of the lecturers, they are always willing to help on time. And I would highly recommend TechGeek to anyone who is looking to break into the field, because after the whole program, they also help with resume preparation, and they also connect with employer. And so if you're looking to break into the field, it's a place where I would highly recommend. As a matter of fact, after my own program, I also recommended a friend who is currently doing a program with them now. And I also have a lot of people who were asking me about how their program is, and they are also willing to try the school. So for me, yeah, like I said earlier, it's a very great place for you to learn about cybersecurity if you want to learn from basic to advanced, and possibility of getting a job after the course. Yeah. And they also help with interview preparation. Yeah. So I would recommend to anybody who wants to learn about cybersecurity. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone. Really appreciate your feedback. So this is how, some of I have thousands of people. It's not just to get you understand about this. Means if they can do it, yes, of course you can do it. This is the possibilities are there. So when I talk about the process, when I talk about the method, how the people get into the process, how we can get into the job. So there are three big challenges where into getting a landing a job here, right? Now, what are the three big challenges are there? Let me just tell you that the three big challenges where it is comes for the people where face when they're starting their career in cybersecurity, especially. So that is nothing but lack of required skill sets and hands-on training on the tools that's based on the real scenarios. Just how the SIEM tools works, how we're going to respond to those incidents, what are the components of the network security, cloud security concept that is very important again. So maybe you may be a beginners, you're trying to get learn. Yes, of course you can be able to learn this. So these are the struggle for the people to get the hands on it. So we have the solutions here. We give you the complete real world security incident, how we're going to mitigate it. Now, we got one part, we got a good skill set with this. That's fine. But still is not help us to get a job, because we require to be have the correct skill set. That's the most important part here. So what I can tell you that, you need to be have a proper cracking the interview cracking systems, that from self introduction to the technical discussions, right? So candidate, we need to be have the complete focus what areas they're going to talk with an interviewer. That is the most important part. So many candidates are fails to make an impact to their self introduction due to of lack of confidence, or they don't have a proper structured, even they have a good skill set, but they fail to get clear interview. That's again problem here. So we're going to give you the real world scenario based interview questions. We're going to tell you 99% what they're going to ask you on interview. We're going to not only just give you the material, but we're going to have the complete training. We're going to have complete concept on that. Now the next important thing which I want you to tell you that, right? What is that? How we're going to get the job. There is a barrier, right? The people have as you know that in today's market. So the experience, which is a big barrier with the people to get start the job. So they will be struggling, after getting a skill set, after getting training, the documentations, which is again, which is a big challenge here, right? The people need to be get understand what are those things are there, how we can work on that, what are the process are there. So we have a team which are going to work on your profile. In fact, I can say you that there is a separate team which is a placement sales team, you know so which are playing the very wider role in a process. Once you get a skill set with this all the requirement, the second path which we talk about, overcoming with all the problems, whatever it may be there, right? They're going to help you out to get in place in the company. So they have three phases when it is comes on the placement process. They go very systematic way. So initially, the first week of our course when we started, so our team is going to call you, the placement team. They understand about your career goal. They understand what is your career aspirations are there, what is your educations are there, what is your past experience are there, what are the best areas that we're going to help you out. That is the first initial interview will be done by our team to get understand your complete profile. It's not after doing everything we come completed a training, then the placement sales team comes into the picture. No, at the initial they're going to call you and they're going to ask you the complete profile details. Then comes to the second phase. The second phase comes on that, where these teams start building your online visibility to the recruiters. So they build your the resume, they build your professional content what is required. They're going to optimize your LinkedIn profile. They improve all the visibilities that is required to the recruiters. That's the most important part. They see your connections, like what type of connections are there, is that your experience alignment with adjust with the profile to match with the job expectations are there or not. So this is all which I've been doing into the phase 2 here. Now phase 3, once our complete training is done with the interview process, then comes on the marketing part. So our team are going to do the job marketing, the resume marketing to the different job areas. Your job applications will be getting applied to 10 to 15 jobs, weekly. That is a most possible cause you'll be going to get on call, because we already clear an interview sessions. You know everything what to talk on the call, though you're just waiting for things to be happens. So the recruiter teams are there to connect with the hiring managers. They referral with the different LinkedIn contacts. They have the different references jobs, the wide range of services, right? While they're doing the job marketing, so they'll understand the entire content, what and how they are going to do it. So there is the two part of this part of this course material, course process, if I say that. First part, we're going to learn about the skill set, interview preparations, and the second part, managing your experience, and also doing the job market, like the job support process, which is a clear transparency. And this is what where we are doing it now. This is a very limited, right? I'll tell you, if I'll tell you this process is designed not for everyone, only for the person who are really passionate, those are really think that they need to change something. They want to start the career into the security quickly. This is for a quick action makers. It's not for the people who are delaying for certain reasons. So we have the complete solutions with the timeline management, right? So we have some add-on services which I've been getting as a compliment here. I'm gonna tell you that in a last, how it would be there and how it's going to be work. So if you ask me requirement to become a security analyst, what you require? So is that the required a programming language you need to be have with that? No, you don't need to be have any programming language. You don't need to be know anything about the coding, or you don't need to be have anything of skill set on Python, Java. You don't need to worry about this. The second myth is that your education background is belongs to the computers only. No, you may be from civil background, you may be from mechanical background, even you can be from the science background. Many people we have helped them and they started the career. So today market, they not hire you based on your academic, they're gonna hire you based on your skill set, which is most important part. How you're going to solve their problem. That's just the most important part. So as we can see that, if you say me the reason why you need to be start that, because as we can see that the attacks are most common, and all the companies want to secure the data. So it's a global job market trending with the high paying salaries. Now, what would be the an average salaries in India? So in India, Saudi and UAE, I will tell you the salary scale. So in India, salary can get start between 8 lakh to the 15 lakh. Most of the 80% of people will get in between 8 lakh to 8 lakh to 12 lakh. This is other possibilities are there. And also it may get increased to the 16, 18 lakhs also. It depends. It depends upon how it's going to be happens. What are things is happen. how it can be make it in easy. Okay. Uh, I would like to take one permission because it is just we designed for 1 hour. Is that okay if I extend this is for more 5 minutes? Give me a quick chat, like yes, if it is all okay.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes, sir, you can extend.
Yeah, thank you. So what I'm gonna do it, like I'm gonna just quickly give you one real interview scenarios. Like one of my student who have clear interview. I want to give you the real recording. You to get and understand. Yes, this is how the interview pattern can be there, and this is the skill set. And believe me, she is from non-technical background. She learned from us, and now she is doing a very good job, like being a security analyst, and see how you're going to how she's going to perform on interview. I would like to just have a look on this. Give me 1 minute.
All those 12 guys.
Guys, is that the voice is audible to you guys, the audio voice?
Play it once.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to make it a little bit faster. I want to just show you what area and how she's been prepared for the interview. Okay, let me this. So I request everyone to please mute your call. Let's see that.
These are site support engineers.
Okay.
Okay. So like you can consider them as local IT support, for example. Okay.
Okay.
So SAP, now coming back to the main topic, SAP obviously is one of the very critical towers for me when it comes to this project. I have two very important clients that I interact with them day in day out for operations and delivery. One guy sits and operates out of India, Mumbai, is a senior director IT operations, and one guy operates out of Germany location, and he is a senior director security operations. So obviously you might have heard a designation CISO, Chief Information Security Officer, right? So both of them, I interact with them daily. I have my own daily calls, weekly calls, monthly calls with them for making sure the delivery and operations go smooth with this entire responsibility and bigger team, right? So, now coming back to particularly this opportunity, why you are here, right? So, look, very recently, in the sense, starting from January this year, although we are into almost September. So, since January, the existing security solutions were earlier they were an independent way of driven. For example, we used to handle our vulnerability management with Rapid7, IBM QRadar, some of the individual SIEM applications, right? But very recently, with a huge transformation project, we moved all those individual solutions in security to a Microsoft enterprise stack, which is Microsoft Sentinel, right? So we moved everything to Microsoft Sentinel. That as a result of business decision and client, and that project was driven by us only, very successfully. So by end of July, we completed that project, starting from January. So now everything has been handed over to BIO under my purview, and we are stabilizing things. We are taking the journey ahead, right? Unfortunately, one of our very senior, a very highly knowledgeable technical guy who was leading this entire SOC team, he has actually, after the implementation of this project, very recently he stepped out. He exited out of Gemstar because of his own reasons. Now, obviously, that called for a need of backfilling, not exactly his role, but one immediate backfill in the SOC area, right? And because I have to back up my team with some additional helping hands, right? So that's how the requirement came, right? So your earlier round one was taken by somebody, Aditya and Sumit, if I may not wrong, right? Yeah, they're very good senior guys in my team. They're reporting to me, and I think one good thing is they have given good feedback about you, right?
Thank you.
So yeah. That being said, now that's the quickly brief story. Of course, I took 10 minutes. Sorry for that. But now, you quickly explain me about your profile. How many companies you worked with so far? How many years of experience? What were you doing? Some of the latest technologies and security you might have already explored or exploring. Your journey.
Yeah. Sure. So first of all, it was pleasure to know about the journey and about the role and responsibility. And when it comes to my introduction, like for my experience, like I worked for almost 6 years, and I'm currently working for CapFox Technologies, and earlier I worked for Wipro. And when it comes to tools and or technology which I majorly worked on SIEM tools. Like I worked on multiple SIEM tools, Splunk, Rapid7, and QRadar. And when it comes to firewalls, like I also have experience working monitoring, like on day-to-day activities, like on regular basis, we will be monitoring our logs which are related to operating system related logs, Active Directory related logs, application related logs, etc. And also to monitor our dashboards to understand if there are any abnormal logs which are being reported. If there are any abnormal logs reported, like we will be analyzing those logs, understanding the capability of those logs, as in like whether it is a true positive or a false positive, and taking mitigationary.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. And taking mitigationary actions also involves in my responsibilities. And I'm also responsible for monitoring our SOC mailbox if it is forwarded with any malicious emails or phishing emails. And also, if any connector goes down, troubleshooting the issue, assigning it to the appropriate team, coordinating with different teams is my another responsibility. And I also have good experience working on EDR, endpoint related issues, wherein like we used CrowdStrike and Microsoft Defender for endpoint related issues, like which is directly in line with MITRE framework. So I have good understanding on MITRE framework as well. So these were like major roles and responsibilities. Apart from this, there is requirement like creating reports, like we will be having monthly weekly calls, so creating weekly reports and monthly reports, and having presenting them to the client, and if required creating dashboards in our SIEM tools is my another responsibility. So these were like my major roles and responsibilities which I've been holding so far. And in specific to tools, as I stated, like I majorly worked on CrowdStrike, and EDR for XDR as Microsoft Defender, which is Office 365, which is a Microsoft product.
This month you do, maybe next month you don't get, that next month you might get, even somebody else is covering.
This is what, like, the interview pattern will be that, like, how we confidently talk it, like, even you're not work in the industry, you have just done the practice rate make you the more perfect. Like, when I talk about the process or negotiating about the salary part, like, there's a lot of things where we can be get
Be
understand
joining
about
or
this.
you expect more?
I'm saying like 9 lakhs is.
So if you
What
can
was
see
your
that.
last joint salary with the previous company?
So it was 9 lakhs per annum.
Okay, and if I say, for example, let me check, some small trick game I play with you. So if I offer the same, will you be joining or you expect more?
I'm saying like 9 lakhs is expected. Like, haven't you asked about the expected CTC?
Yeah, I mean, okay, you tell me. Okay, you converted my question. Okay, what is your expected CTC?
Expected is 9, and like my last one salary is like 6 lakhs per annum, and 1 lakh is variable pay.
Okay, so you're expecting 9.
Yeah.
Okay, but let us say if I offer you somewhere around 7.5 or 8, is that sounding good?
No, it is not. So basically, you have already like offered me 9 earlier, like when you asked me whether if I'm okay with 9 lakhs, the same 9 lakhs package. So I'll be good with
No,
that.
but I thought actually your current CTC was that much, right? But you said actually 6.5 plus 1, right?
Yeah, 6 plus 1.
Okay, no worries. Okay, that we will take care. Don't worry. Yeah. So again, look, probably we will place you in a certain band, and again, I'm commenting from the package perspective, right? So we.
So, guys, this is just a sample for you to get understand, right? How the interview patterns can be there. Like, what are the possibilities are there where we can clear interview, right? So, this is not like, if she can do it, I'm sure that we can do that, right? You can do that. So we have the proper method to get understand how we can crack those, what are the process are there, right? So as we'll tell you that, like, how this we've been going it, as I said, you from this is a from scratch. We're going to start these process from everything from the networking, because networking is a very important concept while been working as a security analyst. We need to understand like IP addresses, we need to understand what type of the transport protocols can be there, what type of the different functions of the protocol like FTP, SSH, telnet, SMPD, what is the difference between the HTTP and HTTPS, what do you mean by the TCP traffic, UDP traffic, like, what are the TCP flags comes. What do you mean by the three-way handshake? Like how it happens? What are the containers will be there in the IP header, TCP header, OSI models? Like, on which layer what type of attack happens? So those are the very required skill set which we need to be have it, like, getting into the security. So we're going to discuss the complete part of the networking. We're going to talk about, like, the SOC analyst role, which is everything what we required in the SOC. So that is a from scratch to advance again. We're going to talk about the cloud security, not only just in the SOC operation, but you're going to get an overview, everything about the practical scenarios also with the cloud. And the most important thing is that the interview preparations. That's where we are going in. So this is what where we're going to work on. Now, apart from that, you're going to also get some complementation. Like, if you've been there in these batch, you'll be getting a video based access to the complete ethical hacking lab. like the complete video based sessions, which is our mostly demanded course, which we have designed, and you're going to get an access to these video access. And then you're going to get it as it, the web application penetration testing as well. So this is are the part which we are covering it. So overall, the tools, if I'll talk about it, what are the tools we're going to learn? We're going to learn about the Splunk, IBM QRadar, Rapid7, Wireshark, Microsoft Azure Sentinel, Jira, and there's a lot of threat intelligent tools are there. So these are the hands-on tools with based on focusing on the requirements, focusing on the real process. How does it happens? So that's our, we are going to discuss in detail. This is what the complete course tools were been there. And if I'll tell you about the process whenever we are discussing about it, the cybersecurity is a big and current next big market. And if you want to start your career, then you have to be a part of this. This is what where we have it. So the solutions which I've sent you, that the complete process which I've been going to give you, complete training, the skill set which is required. The second part of this, you'll be getting the complete interview sessions on that. And the third most important part, that entire the CV preparations, whatever the CV preparations is required, how does it can be marketed, what is your online visibility should be there. So my placement sales team are dedicatedly working on your profile to do the marketing. So they are the high recruiters. They know the areas of the requirements, how they can connect you with the interviewer, because they have done the package of 1.2 crores, 2.2 crores in United States, in United uh, kingdom. So they're given the job area where the people are achieving an Indian salary, if I talk about it, 1.2 to 1.2 1.5 crores per annum. So getting a job of 8 to 12 lakhs is not a big deal. Just need to be have a proper homework on your profile, your existing profile, managing your experience, and getting you on the board. This is what we are doing it. All right. So I'll tell you the batch now. The batch is going to start at 7, that is on 17th March, 17th March 9:30 p.m., which we are going to start. And the class duration, so it will be the 65 days working days, almost nearly it takes you 3 months. So if you need to go cover the 65 days, it takes 3 months nearly to complete. Okay. So during this time, we not wait till 3 months to complete this course. Right from the first week, my placement team start working on your profile. So that makes possibilities for you. As soon as we complete this course, we'll be there with the connected with that, and you'll be getting into the job. This is other possibilities are there. All right. So this is for the placement process. If I'll tell you that, that is actually there is a separate charge, right? So the training cost and interview preparation, which costs us 25,000. And if you're going for the job placement process, that the dedicated team is working on your profile, so they will charge like 15,000. That will be an add-on process will be there. But for this batch, for the 17th March batch, that is only the batch. And before that, we have started one more batch, which is into the middle of it. That two batches we have decided, that is we are giving a free of cost. You don't need to pay anything for the placement, and you're going to get the complete entire service like a paid service. That's a free of cost, where a placement sale team is going to be work. But if you say like you're going for planning for the next batch, so the placement charges will be a completely different. Decision is yours, but this is how where we are going at. So this is all about it. And if you have any questions, queries related to it, feel free to ask me.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
As we fresher, we can how much we can expect to the salary, sir?
See, the fresher have a very less chance of getting a job. To be frank, Aditya, I'll tell you the real fact that if you're looking that you want to go and apply this job as a fresher, say then don't take this course, because it not let you to get a job. To be frank, what service we committed, what service we process, it's for the experienced person. Now, if you say that if you don't have an experience, then our team is there to guide you and tell you what are the things, what are the inside secrets are there, how we can manage your experience, everything. A team are there to help you out, because we are doing something in real time. We are doing something, a real process is like an experience. If somebody call and say us, ask us, is that the person is work with you, so we are there to answer them, yes, this person is deployed with this project and work with us. So that makes you some sounds like an experienced person. Got it?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So this is how it will be there. Now there is some question in the chat. Let me just figure out that. What about Inzimam has says that I have a I don't have a degree. Okay, I have only done 12th. So in the mom, we're not sure then for the job process, but we can help you out for learning. So if you are interested to learn this, you can go ahead. Job we have like very less chances. So it's very specific to the areas. If you're there in India, it's not chances. If you're there in Saudi, if you're there in somewhere else, that might be a chances we can do it. Now, do you have the placement in the Gulf
Hello,
countries?
Shri.
Yes. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, Vijay, 1 minute, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if somebody asks me about the Gulf country, yes, of course, we have a global job market placement team. So it's not only just in a particular region they're going to help you in India, but also they can help you out in even in the Gulf countries as well. So not to worry about that. We have the team dedicatedly working on to help you out, provide the Gulf assistance also, right? Yeah. Yeah, Vijay, please go ahead.
Yeah, Sheikh, I'm working as a system admin. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My daily routine will be the activity with related to the ADR and the firewall and the switches. Does it will be the helpful for us, help me for us to work in the SOC and how it will be there for my growth career?
See, this is will be the more advantage if you already have a networking background or you'll been working for the firewalls and EDRs or
Yeah. Yeah.
monitoring a basic threats, right?
Yes.
Because you know the insight about the organizations, you know about the infrastructure, you know about type of assets what we have it. So
Yeah.
100% is going to help you out. There are many use cases are there. In fact, they came completely with the 12 years of experience in networking and they switched the career into the security and they given
Yeah.
the the good response with it.
Okay. Okay. Sheikh. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for the suggestions.
Misbah, yes, presently you're there in Saudi, so that's fine. You may get it like complete assistant. Do not worry about the job process. The training is very important. So, how salary can be get expected in the Saudi after the training? It will be between 15,000 riyal to 25,000 riyal. It depends upon your existing profile, but minimum will be a 15,000 riyal. The maximum it can be a 25,000 riyal. This will be the per month salary where it can be get accepted in if you're there in the Saudi Arabia. Mm, Akhilesh, I have some question that I have 1.5 years of experience. Can I use this experience like in entry level? Yes, of course you can use, but may I know like what area you have an experience, Akhilesh? In which domain you have an experience, Akhilesh?
Hello, Mr. Iftikhar.
Yeah.
Yours.
Misbah, you can type your question if it is any problem with there. Hashim, as I said you already, it's a global job market process. So job support will be there anywhere. Either you're there in US, UK, Australia, you're there in Middle East, you're there in Saudi, you're there in Dubai, no problem. We have a dedicated team which is working on it. Malik Arjun having 3 years of experience. Okay, mainframe development. Yes, we can check your profile once and we'll discuss that. So you can connect to us while doing the placement process. My team will contact you and can see some internal insight what we can do with that. Yes, of course we can do that. No worries. We have the complete end-to-end solution, Akhilesh. We can do that.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Mehboob, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir, as you have told that this is not for freshers. So, the freshers who are interested for getting into the cybersecurity, so how do
Yeah,
they can get into it?
this is the real fact. You know what happens? I'll tell you. We done the training, right? We put in a
Yes.
resume as a fresher. We send it to the with a lot of hope to the organizations, right? That is the reason people will not receive call. They get disappointed. They'll wait. Very less chances. I'm not saying like they'll not get. Yes, they might get, but there's a very less chances of getting it. So that's the reason we need to manage some experience. We need to manage some process. So what we are doing it with this.
So, what kind of experience can we get
In the
into it?
SOC only. In the SOC only, our team are there to help you out for that. It will guide you the entire process. You know how it can be done.
So, currently I'm a student in third
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So, how can I start my career in cybersecurity? Like,
See,
what
if
field can
you're
I get basic
Meh-
into it?
Mehboob, if you're there into the third year, so
Yes,
here you only can be accepted to be have some skill set, not right away
yes,
the job, to be frank. You
yes,
know,
yes.
if your expectations is the for a job, then you have to wait for the complete your graduation. I have some gap in that. Then it is possibilities are there. Got it? So
Yes,
it depends, like, your decision. If you think like after this course you may get a job, so sorry, this is not possible. Like, you
no,
won't get a
not
job.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn the basics of networking, and I'm planning to get into the cybersecurity.
if you're
So that is
planning
why,
if you're
yeah,
planning to start your career in cybersecurity, this is what the right way, because this will give you the complete, you have good enough time, and we have multiple batches, right? you know you start it now, but we can give you an access for lifetime recording session this. So you'll be getting upgrade with this, also getting an access to this recording, and a placement cell team will be there in future, like, as you are part of these. So we register you that, like, the complete project, the complete entire course part you have taken, and you can come back and the team will be there to guide you. These are the possibilities are there.
it's good.
Hello.
So yeah.
Yeah, hi sir. This is Uttam.
Yeah, Uttam.
Yes, sir. Actually, I take some my questions, sir. Actually, my
Yeah, there's lot of, actually I
yeah,
am
yeah.
getting
Okay,
a lot
okay,
of text, so maybe up.
okay, okay.
I'm sorry. You can
No,
please ask me.
yeah. Actually, my pass out in 2006 MCA graduate I am,
Mm-hmm.
and from last 13 years I am working in non-IT side.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
the company is a semi-software. But
Mm-hmm.
my role is from last 6 years as a project lead.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
used to handle the team of 25 members somewhat. So can I use this experience and put as a cybersecurity associate, work
Yes.
as a
See,
cybersecurity
I'll tell
associate?
you what happens. We have inside some roles, right? So it is all about, like, the organizations, we need to submit them. So, like, either I got selected as a one, like internal, my job role has got changed. I work for these areas, for this part, like, So that is what
Okay.
I said you. We need to understand your profile first,
Profile.
right?
Okay.
It possibilities, 100% possibilities are there. If you're there into the working or not working, we have a solutions for that. We can discuss
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Okay.
May I know at what stage this discussion will happen before joining the course or at what stage,
See,
sir?
I'll tell you, as you got a clear picture that the very first important requirement is to get in a proper skill set to get a job, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So the solutions, what we have it, like, experience part is quite manageable things. So it's not being a
Okay.
barrier. Like, if you are
Okay.
keen to have it, then we can have it, like, one-to-one discussion. So don't worry about that before you take a decision.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh, Hi,
Yeah.
Iftikhar.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, sir.
Iftikhar, I just have like a very different question. I'm coming from a DevSecOps background. Okay,
Mhm.
so I'm very much familiar about the like a core cybersecurity concept. Like I've been involved with the cybersecurity company. I got to know how their infrastructure were built. Okay, like the core solution, like the SIEM solution, how they are working in the behind the scene. What do you think after taking this training? So, at what level, at what SOC level I'm going to land, like L1, L2, or L3? In L1, being in a automation job, so I believe it's been like most of the tasks have been automated by the source solutions. Okay, so what do you think after taking this training? At what level I'm going to land for job?
Yeah. So after completing this training, like, as you have already the background or in security, and you understand the infrastructure of these, right? This course is designed in three level one, level two, and level three. Because we're not just monitoring, we're going to respond to this incident. We're going to be sitting with the client and understanding the client requirement, understanding the asset list, like, doing into the different type of criticalities level. What are those criticality levels will be there, how the risk assessment can be done, what are the information security team is doing it. So this is the complete area, like, we are discussing. So where you have in the positions after this, it's not just a SOC operation taking as a major course as a SOC operations, but we are going to be discuss about the more detail about endpoint security, network security, asset security, data security, the controls, the policies management, everything. So like till that, apart from that, how the negotiations can be happens to the vendors when you're going with the manager job positions, what type of the sim tools can be get deployed, what are the reason which sim tools can be get suits for the particular assets, right? Those areas, if you're writing the correlations rules, how you can understand what are the sources, what type of alerts we need to generate, how we can write those correlations rules, that is also a part of this. So you get a complete picture in that areas as well. So this is designed till up to the level 3. So you will get and land a job till level 2, level 3 with this course.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I have a question to address. Sohail Ahmed, I'm in okay, you're there in US, Chicago, and timing for the live sessions will be fixed for the batch. I'm gonna start on 17th, right? Yes, exactly. It's 9:30 p.m. So it might be you're there into the EST, right? Sohail, are you there? Sohail, are you there? EST or CST? What is your time zone?
I figure it's CST.
CST, right? Yeah. So it would be like 9:30 a.m., I believe. 9
Yeah, here
a.m. I have.
it's
Yeah.
now it's 12:30.
12:30. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
The time zone has got changed, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now we are in a daylight savings.
Yeah. Ha, 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 ha.
Mhm.
So yeah. So you please convert CST to IST. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
you can check that time zone, right? So IST is
Okay.
9:30 p.m. Okay.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Help me to secure good positions in Saudi. Yes, Mizba, it is possible. I have not addressed many questions. I have a lot of text here in the chat. Imran asked me 5 years of experience in networking. Previously, job title as a IT support specialist in India, US based company. Now I'm in Saudi Arabia and hard to find a job in KSA IT field. So that's the good demand in the SOC analyst. But that's why the planning to the course in security. Yes, of course, Imran. If you're there here, if you're there in the chat, I can see your question. Yes, of course, this will be the solutions, and that will be the right approach, getting into the market. So, team are there to help you out. It all depends, how the requirements are there, how the process are there. But still, I can tell you the Saudi Arabia is one of the toppest job market in security, especially SOC analyst and cloud security. Uh, Sir, office in Bangalore. No, Mallikarjun, we are there in Hyderabad based. Uh, I need to address some more questions. If I miss someone question, please, if you're there, don't mind, can ask me. Unmute your mic and can ask me the question if you have it. Misbah presently in Saudi, so that's fine. Okay. Mehboob, I addresses your questions again back. So I think I have already addresses many questions. But still, if I fail someone's question, please ask me. So please
Yeah,
let me
Mr.
know how to start your career. Yeah.
Again, Mr. Iftikhar,
Yeah, Misbah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
I want to know what is the job market for this cyber security professional in the Saudi Arabia?
Job market is very huge. There is a very huge, it depends upon the type of visa you're holding. Okay. What is your current experience? That is the most important part. So if you have these two things, hmm,
In India, I worked as a network administrator for
hmm,
2.5 years in some
hmm,
automobile industry. After that, I moved to Saudi Arabia as a electronics engineer. Now working as a low voltage and low current engineer for last 5 years in one of the company maintenance
hmm,
company.
okay.
So I want to switch my profile and come into the cyber security. So
Hmm.
I just want to know what are the markets available over here in the Saudi Arabia.
Market is very good, very huge. Right way to get it into it, we have to make it profile is more visible into the Saudi market. Okay. So that need to be worked out with the process. So my team is going to do it. So that will be some out of the box. They're going to help you out. They may take your profile access, like that with your permissions, or if you don't have any process, they're gonna create that and make it that visible.
One more thing I want to know is cyber security. One thing is a must, without which we cannot think about security. That is the
Mm.
Linux-based platform.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everything, every hackers attack, they use the Linux. No one use the Windows.
Mm-hmm.
So this training will be Linux will be a part of this training because we have to have a good knowledge of the Linux-based commands and a lot of things based
Yeah,
on that.
Misbah, we have already the complete recorded sessions for the Linux, the Kali Linux, where we are going to be using ethical hacking. But in fact, when I talk about the SOC operations, you need to have some basic idea about the Linux. That's just fine, which we're going to be covered in that. Don't worry about that.
Because I missed the starting portion of your this lecture or
Mm-hmm.
demonstration because I was about
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
at the start.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So the batch is getting started. Again, I repeat, that is on 17 March. So tomorrow will be the registration date, guys. So we have very limited seats. So if you're interested, so please go ahead, talk with my team. Like those have sent you this link. They can help you out to the enrollment process and can start, you get a link on Saturday. Mostly like on Sunday, we are going to create a group and make it that batch fix. All right.
what is the duration of the classes will be?
It would be initially it will be 1 hour. When we start practical, it may take up to the 2 hour session also, 1.5 hour to 2 hours. It depends upon the topic what we are discussing, and it is Monday to Friday. Like we have 65 days. So if you count in months, it may take around 2.5 to 3 months to complete this course.
What is the timing? IST 7,
9:30 p.m.
9:30 over here. It will be 7. Okay, 9:30. Okay.
Yeah. So is there any questions anyone have? Please feel free to ask me. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Hashim, Sohel, Sampath, Rashekar. I really thanks everybody for giving your time, listening me. I really enjoy talking you guys. I really appreciate your time. You've given your precious time for listening me. I hope this make you something good, right? Uh, I said I want to be a SOC practical training. Yes, 100% practical. We're going to do the lab setup. We're going to get it everything practical, Malik Arjun. This is 100% practical, but straight away we don't start the practical. It's a systematic way to get approach and get understand the concept. Malik Arjun, we are going to do the practical sessions, making a lab setup, doing all the process which I showed you in the demo. We're going to get it. That's all in hands on.
Sir, how many symptoms you have trained, sir? Trained for?
We're going to get into the three SIM tools, right? Actually, four. The cloud based as well. We're going to discuss Splunk, IBM QRadar, SIM like Rapid 7, and Azure Sentinel, right? Apart from that, Wireshark, and there's different sandbox, incident response process. That is how we're going to mitigate those incident response. We're going to use the sandbox, to understand the malware analysis. So those are the areas. The tool wise, I've already listed the tools which has been going to do it. The course space is 25,000. Azib Sheikh, the course space is 25,000. Very limited, very reasonable, very economically we design that. We don't charge 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh, 1.3 lakhs. These are the market which is going on. So 25,000, it's very cheap because the people should be get effort and get a proper concept on that. So yeah, you're going to get a 15,000 add-on plus all the video access. That is cost of again around 20,000. So you'll be getting with this course nearly 35,000 as a bonus. 15,000 is a free option where you've been getting EMI options. We don't have it, but still if you're really interested, we can go with the two bricks. Yeah. So, any other questions, if you have it, please feel free to ask me. And I repeat, these offer like the placement sale. Again, I want to make it clear because you might be coming into the next batch. And if you look like, no, no, sir, you said me like you're going to give me a free cost of the placement sales process, that the job support process, it is 100% free. You said me, though that is only for the 17th March. That's for the batch. I repeat again, the 17th March, and this class has been getting recorded, so you have an access to the recording, so you can listen that, right? It's not for the further batches. We have the batch previously done with 40,000 rupees. This batch only we designed for just with 35,000. You're getting an add-on of 15,000 free of cost for this batch. Yes, Sampath.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Very good evening.
Sir, right now I'm in Dubai, sir. So
Yes.
I'm planning to go back to India.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I will come back in say like maybe 1 month or 2 months. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right now I'm working as a healthcare worker.
Okay.
So I just want to change my career. That's the reason I attend this class.
Perfect.
So
So
is it
yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
is it helpful for me like when I move to India?
I'll tell
So
you, I can tell you that when you're coming in 2 to 3 months back to the India, till that you will be coming with the skill set that you're ready to explore the market in India. And my team is there always. We there in India, so we'll
yes,
support you for that. Not to worry about that.
sure, sir.
All process are
And
very
this
transparency, we maintain 100% transparency. There's nothing hidden process, there is nothing hidden cost. Whatever we commitment, we there on the commitment. At the end of this course, you'll get complete satisfactions. I can say you that, whatever we commit, that is we ready. We make you perfect with the tools, we make you perfect with the interview, we make it your profile visible, we'll let you get a call, right? Clearing interview, it's your turn. Where we there still to help you out. If you get fail in interview, you can contact back us, you can ask us the references, you can ask us how we can help you out to clear your those interviews. So we there making you a very clear crystal platforms where you can get it smooth way to drive your jobs. Yeah.
sure. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yeah. So CCNA, CCNP train, I have certification India cyber threat. That's absolutely advantage. Azip Sheikh, that is advantage. If you're already from the networking background, you're already from uh, doing some technical jobs. You're there into the network administrator. You're there into the desktop support. You're there into network administrators, IT management, IT operation project manager. These are the advantages. These are the advantages. As I said you that even a person from non-technical can start, but those persons are already there into the technical as fields. There are been getting an advantage to get start this career. All right, so that's all. Thank you very much for listening me. Good day, good night, everybody. Giving your time. So I'm happy to see you on board. I'm going to meet you on Monday on 17 March at 9:30 p.m. with our first sessions in security, and hope that sessions make you more eligible to get start your jobs. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you.